What if I told you that by the time you hit 60, you could have already lost up to 1/3 of your muscle mass and not even realize it? It's a quiet, invisible process that sneaks up on most people. No sudden warning signs, no dramatic symptoms, just gradual weakness, joint pain, difficulty standing up, and a growing fear of falling. I'm Will Harlow, a specialist physiotherapist for adults over 50, and in this video, I'm going to share 7 powerful, research-backed strategies to reverse muscle loss and rebuild your strength regardless of your age or current fitness level. Now here's something that surprises nearly every patient I see. Muscle loss doesn't begin when you feel old. It starts in your 30s. From that point on, research shows we lose 3 to 8% of our muscle mass every decade. That means if you're 60 now, you could already have 20% or more of your strength gone. And after 60, the process speeds up. On average, people over 60 lose around 1% of muscle mass each year. That may sound small, but over time, it leads to a major loss of strength, balance, and function. The consequences? A higher risk of falls, fractures, longer recovery times, and unfortunately, a shorter lifespan. But here's the truth. Muscle loss isn't just part of getting older, it's largely preventable. And for many people, it's reversible. You don't need to spend hours at the gym or lift heavy weights. You just need the right plan. That's what I'm here to give you today. In this video, I'll walk you through 7 strategies that I use in my clinic every day with clients in their 50s, 60s, and beyond. These methods are simple, safe, and incredibly effective at restoring lost muscle, improving mobility, and giving you back the confidence to move freely and live fully. If you've ever felt like your legs are getting weaker, if you've struggled to get out of a chair or noticed you're slowing down, this video is for you. And trust me, what you'll learn today could change the way you age. So before we dive into the first strategy, do me a quick favor. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below telling me which part of your body you most want to strengthen. Your support helps this message reach more people who truly need it. Alright, let's get started. First up is the most effective and proven way to fight muscle loss. And no, it's not what most people think. Let's jump in. 1. Resistance training. Your body's best ally against aging. Let's begin with the single most effective tool we have to fight muscle loss: resistance training. Resistance training, also known as strength training, is the act of using force to push against a resistance. That resistance can be as simple as your own body weight, a dumbbell, a resistance band, or even gravity. Whether you're performing a push-up, standing up from a chair, or lifting a shopping bag off the floor, you're already doing a form of resistance training. The key is being intentional and consistent about it. In my 10+ years of working with older adults, I've seen resistance training restore not just strength, but also confidence. Many of my clients come in afraid of falling, hesitant to bend down, or struggling to carry groceries. But with just a few minutes a day, literally 10 minutes of the right movements, they begin to move with ease again. You don't need a gym membership or fancy equipment. In fact, some of the best exercises for preserving and regaining muscle can be done at home, right now. 2 of my all-time favorites are sit-to-stands from a chair and bodyweight squats. These simple movements mimic real-life tasks and recruit multiple major muscle groups, especially in the legs and hips, where we tend to lose strength first. If you're stronger and feel comfortable, you can progress to weighted squats, push-ups, dumbbell rows, or overhead presses. Another excellent move is the deadlift, which trains your ability to lift something off the ground, a skill that becomes even more important as we age. Here's what I always tell my patients: you don't need to train like an athlete. You just need to train like someone who wants to stay out of a wheelchair. Aim for 5 to 20 repetitions per set, depending on your ability. And by the end of each set, your muscles should feel challenged, not overwhelmed, but worked. This is how we stimulate muscle growth and improve joint stability. Start with 2 to 3 sets per exercise and train at least 3 times per week, if not daily. And remember, consistency beats intensity every time. It's better to do a little bit often than a lot once in a while. If you're unsure where to start, consider seeking personalized guidance from a licensed physiotherapist, someone who can design a plan based on your body, your goals, and any conditions you may have. Building on this foundation of resistance training, let's move to another secret weapon in preserving your strength: exercises that use multiple muscles and joints at once. That brings us to tip number 2, compound exercises. 2. Compound exercises get more done in less time. Building on this foundation of resistance training, we now shift to one of the most efficient strategies in your muscle strengthening journey: compound exercises. Unlike isolation exercises, which target just one muscle group, like a bicep curl that only works the front of your upper arm, compound exercises engage multiple muscle groups and joints at once. And that makes all the difference. Let me explain why this matters. When you're short on time, energy, or mobility, which many of my clients over 50 are, you need exercises that give you the biggest return on investment. Compound movements train your body the way it actually moves in real life. They improve balance, coordination, and functional strength all at once. Take the squat, for example. A simple bodyweight squat recruits the quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, hip stabilizers, and even your core. All of that happens in one fluid motion. As you squat, your knees, hips, and ankles are working together, just like when you sit down, stand up, or pick something off the ground. That's not just smart training. That's practical training. Another example is the push-up, which strengthens the chest, shoulders, arms, and core. Or the overhead press, which targets your entire upper body. And of course, the deadlift, a personal favorite, trains your back, legs, hips, and grip all in one powerful movement. These exercises not only build muscle but also teach your body how to move safely and efficiently, especially under load. From my clinical experience, clients who focus on compound exercises progress faster and sustain those gains longer. I've seen individuals in their 70s and 80s go from being unsteady and dependent to walking with strength and confidence, simply by switching from isolation exercises to compound patterns. Now, does this mean isolation movements have no place? Not at all. They can be useful for rehabbing injuries or targeting weaker muscles. But if your goal is to regain full body strength and move better every day, compound exercises should be at the core of your routine. You can do many of them at home using just your body weight. Add light weights or resistance bands as you progress. And always prioritize quality over quantity. Smooth, controlled movements beat rushed, sloppy reps every time. In short, choose exercises that work with your body, not just for it. You'll save time, protect your joints, and get stronger where it matters most. Coming up next is a strategy that requires no weights, no equipment, and no learning curve, but offers tremendous benefits for both muscle and bone health. Let's talk about the power of weight-bearing activities. 3. Weight-bearing exercises. Strengthen muscles while you move through life. So far, we've talked about how to strengthen your muscles through resistance and compound movements. Now let's look at something even more natural, something you're already doing every day, but may not realize its full potential: weight-bearing exercise. Weight-bearing simply means moving your body while supporting your own weight through your feet and legs. Think walking, hiking, dancing, stair climbing, and even yard work. These activities are more than just cardio. They actively engage your muscles, bones, and joints in a functional, real-life way. And here's why that matters. Not all forms of exercise offer the same muscle-preserving benefits. For example, cycling, while great for your heart, doesn't engage your full body in the same way walking or hiking does. When you walk, each step sends a signal to your muscles and bones. Hey, we're still needed. Stay strong. But when you sit on a bike or a machine, those signals can be much weaker. In my clinic, I've seen this distinction play out clearly. Patients who walk 5,000 to 10,000 steps a day, especially outdoors, often maintain better leg strength, balance, and even posture compared to those who rely on seated cardio. And the best part? You don't need a gym. You just need a good pair of shoes and the willingness to move. Weight-bearing activity also supports bone health, which goes hand in hand with muscle strength. As we age, bones tend to thin out, increasing the risk of fractures. But the act of loading your skeleton with your own body weight, step by step, stimulates the bones to stay dense and resilient. It's nature's way of telling your body, we still need to be strong. If you're new to daily movement, start small. Begin with 10-minute walks twice a day and build from there. If you can hit 5,000 to 10,000 steps per day, that's an excellent goal. But remember, consistency is more important than perfection. And don't underestimate the power of movement built into your routine. Taking the stairs instead of the elevator, parking farther from the store, walking while talking on the phone, all of these moments add up. As we move forward, you'll see how this kind of physical activity complements your strength training beautifully. But to make all this work even better, there's one thing your body absolutely can't do without, and that's protein. Let's dive into strategy number 4, protein intake, and why most older adults are not getting enough. 4. Protein intake, the fuel your muscles can't live without. Now that we've covered how to challenge and stimulate your muscles through movement, let's talk about something just as critical, perhaps even more so, fueling your muscles properly. And that fuel is protein. Protein isn't just a fitness buzzword. It's the raw material your body uses to build, repair, and preserve muscle tissue. Without it, no matter how much exercise you do, your muscles simply won't grow. And in my clinical experience, this is where I see many older adults fall short. See, as we age, our bodies become less efficient at absorbing and utilizing protein, a phenomenon known as anabolic resistance. This means that you may need more protein than you did when you were younger, just to maintain the same muscle mass. The general guideline is to consume 1.0 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day, but for those aiming to build or maintain muscle, I recommend bumping that up to 1.5 to 2.0 grams per kilogram. For example, if you weigh 150 pounds, about 68 kilograms, that's around 100 to 135 grams of protein per day. And no, you don't need to get it all from chicken breast and protein shakes. There are plenty of excellent sources. Animal-based, lean meats, fish, poultry, eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese. Plant-based, lentils, chickpeas, tofu, tempeh, quinoa, nuts, and seeds. One of the most common mistakes I see is saving all your protein for dinner. But research and practical experience shows that spreading protein intake evenly throughout the day is much more effective. Ideally, aim for 20 to 40 grams per meal, depending on your needs, and include a small protein-rich snack between meals if needed. If you're not sure where to begin, I often suggest starting with your first meal of the day. Most people eat a carbohydrate-heavy breakfast, like toast or cereal, and miss a key opportunity to nourish their muscles. Try something like eggs with avocado, a high-protein smoothie, or Greek yogurt with chia seeds and berries. Of course, always speak with your doctor or dietitian, especially if you have kidney issues or other health concerns, before making major dietary changes. But for most older adults, not getting enough protein is a far bigger risk than getting too much. In short, you can lift all the weights in the world, but without adequate protein, your muscles won't have the building blocks they need to grow. Make protein a priority at every meal, and you'll feel the difference in strength, energy, and recovery. Up next, we shift gears to something more personal: how your lifestyle choices in retirement can either support or sabotage your muscle strength. Let's talk about strategy number 5, engaging in purposeful hobbies. 5. Engaging in hobbies during retirement, replacing lost movement with purpose. Now let's shift from the physical to something more personal and just as powerful: what you do with your time once you stop working. One of the biggest transitions I see in my clients is when they enter retirement. For many, it's a long-awaited and well-deserved break. But here's the reality I've witnessed over and over again: when work stops, movement often stops too. Think about it. Even if your job wasn't physically demanding, it still got you up and out of the house. It gave your day structure. It involved walking, standing, reaching, lifting, even if just mildly. When that routine suddenly disappears, so does much of the low-level, consistent movement that helps preserve muscle mass and joint mobility. In fact, I've had patients who were once builders, nurses, or teachers, physically active roles for decades, who noticed a sharp decline in strength and energy within just a year of retirement. Why? Because without a plan, we tend to default to inactivity. The body follows the mind. When there's no reason to move, we often stop moving. That's why I always encourage my patients to fill their calendar with purposeful hobbies. Not just something to pass the time, but something that brings joy, involves some movement, and gets them out of the house. Here are a few examples my clients have thrived with: gardening, gentle squats, lifting, reaching, and plenty of steps. Volunteering, whether at a school, community center, or hospital, staying socially and physically engaged makes a world of difference. Dancing or Tai Chi combines movement, rhythm, balance, and fun. Group fitness or walking clubs adds accountability and social connection. Learning something new, like painting, music, or woodworking, keeps both mind and body engaged, especially if it includes some standing or light activity. And here's the secret: when people enjoy what they're doing, they tend to do it more often and for longer. That means more steps, more movement, better mood, and yes, better muscle retention. So, as you think about your week, ask yourself, what activity would I look forward to? Not what you should do, but what you would actually enjoy doing consistently. That's the golden ticket to staying active for years to come. Speaking of movement built into your day, there's one simple choice you can make, starting today, that can significantly impact your lower body strength. Let's move on to strategy number 6, choosing the stairs. 6. Choosing the stairs, small decision, big muscle payoff. This next strategy might sound almost too simple, but don't underestimate its impact. One of the easiest and most effective daily habits to maintain muscle mass, especially in your legs, is to choose the stairs. As a physiotherapist, I've seen firsthand how this one decision, made consistently, can make or break someone's long-term leg strength. Every time you climb stairs, you're performing a powerful lower body movement that mimics squats, lunges, and step-ups all in one. You're engaging your glutes, hamstrings, quads, calves, and yes, your heart and lungs, too. Here's something I often see. When clients downsize from a multi-level home to a single-level apartment or bungalow, they tend to become less active without realizing it. We even have a name for it in the clinic, bungalow legs. It refers to the noticeable weakening of leg muscles that often happens in the first year after someone moves to a home without stairs. You might think, it's just a few steps I'm skipping, but those 10 or 15 daily trips up and down the stairs, that adds up to thousands of steps every year and a huge amount of built-in strength training that quietly disappears when the stairs do. So here's my advice. Whenever you have the option, take the stairs. At home, at the mall, at the doctor's office, or the airport, those flights of stairs are free, functional workouts just waiting to happen. Even if you have joint issues, taking it slow, holding the rail, or starting with just 1 or 2 flights a day can still make a significant difference. The key is consistency. Think of every stair you climb as a vote in favor of stronger legs, better balance, and fewer falls. For those who are less mobile, try incorporating step-ups at home, using a sturdy step or low platform. Just a few minutes a day can help mimic the stair climbing motion and activate the same muscle groups. And remember, it's not about being perfect, it's about being intentional. Making a small decision like taking the stairs instead of the elevator might seem insignificant in the moment, but over weeks and months, it becomes a powerful investment in your mobility and independence. Speaking of staying active and independent, what happens when pain gets in the way? In our final strategy, we'll talk about a crucial mistake many people make when dealing with joint or muscle pain, and how to fix it before it robs you of your strength. Let's move on to strategy number 7. Address pain early, before it steals your strength. Point 7. Address pain early. Don't let discomfort turn into disability. Let's be honest, pain happens. Whether it's your knee, hip, back, or shoulder, nearly everyone experiences nagging aches and pains as they age. But here's where many go wrong. They ignore it. They wait, rest, avoid movement, and suddenly weeks become months, and the pain becomes chronic. In my 10+ years working with older adults, I can't tell you how many times I've seen this play out. It starts with a little soreness after a walk or a twinge in the back after lifting something. It'll go away, people say, so they skip their daily walk, avoid the stairs, or stop doing their exercises just for a few days. But that rest turns into avoidance, and that avoidance quickly turns into weakness, stiffness, and fear of movement. It's a vicious cycle. Pain, rest, muscle loss, more pain, more rest. And the longer it goes on, the harder it is to break. Here's the good news. Most joint and muscle pain can be resolved or improved with early action. In fact, many aches are due to weakness, tightness, or imbalances, and the right exercises can correct those issues quickly, but only if you catch them early. So what should you do if pain shows up and sticks around longer than a few days? Don't wait. Reach out to a licensed physiotherapist or healthcare provider. Even 1 or 2 sessions can give you a clear diagnosis, targeted exercises, and a plan to get back on track before the problem snowballs. Let me give you an example. I once worked with a man in his 60s who had mild knee pain and decided to rest it for a month. By the time he came in, his quad muscles had weakened so much that simply getting out of a chair was painful, and the pain was worse than before. Within 3 weeks of targeted movement, his pain decreased by 70%. It wasn't rest he needed, it was the right kind of movement. Of course, if you're in serious pain or something feels off, seek professional evaluation. But if it's minor or moderate pain, don't assume the solution is doing nothing. Often, movement is medicine, as long as it's done correctly. Those who maintain their strength into older age aren't just lucky, they're proactive. They listen to their bodies, act early, and don't let small issues become big limitations. So take this final strategy to heart. Respect pain, but don't surrender to it. Address it early, stay active, and protect the strength you've worked so hard to build. Now that you've seen all 7 powerful strategies to regain and maintain muscle strength as you age, let's bring everything together with a quick recap and a message I hope will stay with you for years to come. So there you have it, 7 powerful strategies to help you regain muscle strength, reclaim your energy, and restore your confidence as you age. From resistance training that challenges your body, to compound and weight-bearing movements that mimic real life, to the crucial fuel of protein and the importance of purposeful hobbies. And from choosing the stairs to addressing pain early, you now hold the blueprint to stay strong, mobile, and independent for decades to come. But here's the truth. Information alone won't change your life. Action will. And the sooner you start, the better your results will be. I've seen people in their 70s and 80s regain strength they thought was lost forever, simply by applying these exact steps, one at a time, with consistency and care. So let me ask you this. Which of these strategies will you start with today? Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you found this video helpful, Backhand Index Pointing Right, give it a like to let the algorithm know it's worth sharing. Backhand Index Pointing Right, subscribe so you don't miss our future videos full of expert tips and encouragement. Backhand Index Pointing Right, and share it with someone you care about, a friend, a parent, a neighbor, anyone who deserves to feel stronger and live better. Remember, aging is inevitable, but weakness is not. You have more control than you think. So stay active, stay informed, and most of all, stay inspired. Thank you for spending your time with me today. Until next time, keep moving forward.